What's up? And have a great day. I just gotta get this drywall sealed over, sprayed down. Just one gets in there and soaks that leather up in the pad a little easier. So let's try the paint now with the primer. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. See all the pressure. That's a lot of pressure, by the way. These hold about 2,600 PSI. It's airless. It's just by force on one piston going up. So up and down, up and down. So it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. All right, cool. We got that going. Now, I gotta make sure my tip is clear, which I guarantee it isn't, because it does not look like it was put away right. No. Now we gotta get this tip canoeing correctly. First thing I look at is I'm so sick of drywall. This is why I like to do a little bit of everything. Because if I had to do just drywall my whole life, I would lose my mind. All right, let's go over to this wall for a second. Of course, the tape's gonna, there we go. Let's go over here for a sec. Turn these lights on. Now I have to spray this whole place. Usually you start high and then work your way down, but I just want to see what's going on here. Yeah, that's a good canoe. That's a nice canoe. Tiny tail. Sorry, I'll get you guys. It's got a tiny tail, but nothing. We're priming. We're not, really doesn't even have that. I mean, it kind of does. I guess maybe my pressure's up a little too high, or not enough. Try to turn the pressure up just a little bit and see. There we go. Of course, we need a clog. God damn it. So we're gonna play these fucking games all day. This is great. And I don't have my channel locks. So this spring in here sometimes can get a little stuck. And I might have to run outside and grab my channel locks because it looks to me like it's gonna do the cobra. I gotta back this spring out a little bit and get this functioning. The trigger isn't closing. Just gotta take some pressure off, I think. Let's see. Am I off? See? What the fuck is going on here? Yeah, I just gotta get this thing moving again. When they sit for a long time, you know, you really should open them up and grease them, oil them really well. So sometimes this trigger mechanism will get stuck moving in and out when you pull the trigger, and it just lets paint fly out, you know, it's just like anything. It's got a lot of moving parts in just this one piston here. And that trigger, this right here, releases that piston from letting the paint go out and closing the valve. Alright, well, yep, now that I've completely lost every single person's interest in the whole world, now I'll do my job because I'm so fucking boring. Anyway, thanks for watching. Some sort of drop cloth down over this stuff. It's just too much. The paint spatter all over the place. Because when you spray ceilings, it gets everywhere. So I'm just going to use this bucket. We'll see how that goes. I don't think I'm going to reach it very well, but by the way, this is a 211. I'm supposed to be 11 inches from this. turned up pretty high, and I like the formality, so I'm just gonna deal with it. It sucks that I left my work platform outside. Climbing up on this is like fucking impossible. We'll try it. We'll give her a try. Move that. Now I might be able to just wheel it. It's got this pretty cool hatch system here. I actually haven't used it yet. Doesn't hold itself up. Okay. Oh yeah, of course. That's right. We'll just throw the phone around. 1 second. I need tape. Storm drain. Fuck the thing up. Just about everything that could go wrong goes wrong every time. Okay. All right. How's that for an angle? Kind of looks weird because the lights are all hanging, but I had to let the lights hang so that I could stop them from getting paint all over them. Great. That won't matter anyway, fuck it. Okay. There we go. What did I unplug myself? What the fuck? Just lost pressure out of nowhere. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, it did unplug. It did unplug. All right. Yeah, this ain't bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. It's actually working. You know, sometimes the sprayer just gives you problems, but not today. Knock on wood. Alright, I'm gonna turn some fucking fans on. We need fans. Fans dry. Fans dry things. Alright. Fans in the corners, always. What the? No. How did I just popped a breaker? I've had all three of these going at once. What? Oh, I think it popped the GFCI on the switch. I might have actually shut the whole damn thing. No? I think it was GFCI. Maybe it was the moisture? What in the hell is going on, buddy? praying to get the hell out of here. I have one more outlet that'll work. I don't get it. Now I'm worried if I turn that on, it's gonna blow. Or that probably won't even work. Yep. So now I'm gonna have to shut all the fans off and only do this. And then I can turn them on. God, are you fucking kidding me? Yes, I swear, I'm sorry. I just ripped all the tape right off of that. Ugh. You know, it's always something when you build it. It's just always something. Forced to do it with no fans, so it is what it is. Let's just get it done. Of course. Nope. split the room up a little bit here. Make some room. Make some room so I can move. I'd say I'm gonna have to do a little bit of this here. Split the room this way. Like so. We're going to kind of just get that whole ceiling real quick, and then we'll move to the walls, and we got it. but all of my outlets went dead on that exterior wall. So I'll have to ask the electrician why. The electric box is right there. I swapped out, did all the breakers. They may be fed on just this one. I don't know. I don't get it. But the only outlet I got in here is that. It's running 2 fans just fine. I don't know why 3 broke. I don't get it. Maybe because there was paint, like wet paint on the ground or something. I really don't know. But anyway. Wow, I laid that somewhere. Holy shit. That's like glass, dude. Damn. That ceiling is wet, wet, wet. Like that looks like epoxy. Holy smokes. We gotta get this fan on that ceiling. That ought to help. I mean, that looks like wet epoxy. Yeah, I'm sorry about the sound. It's just part of my job. But I need to let some air in here. Get some air moving in and out of this room. If I close the doors on this place, there would probably be drips in the morning. We'll give it at least a half an hour to cure up just a hair. Even 10 minutes. Just to kind of let that air in there. Looks a lot better now, don't it, guys? That's a week's worth of mud. Hard work. Look at that, it's all corner bead, recessed drywall. That's what hard work looks like right there. Problem is, it's wet outside too. How long did it take you to get good? Well, I gotta say, my first job I ever did, I actually had the client purchase me a Graco sprayer. And to be honest, I was really natural at it. My first job I ever did on my own, the first time I ever even used an airless sprayer, I killed it. I sprayed the whole place brown, and then I went back and I rolled just the face of the trim white, and just rolled it out. It was, I left the pies all brown, but I sprayed everything brown first. And yeah, it just came natural to me. And I've been doing it. I've had a sprayer since my first job all by myself 13 years ago. So, and like I said, it just came natural, to be honest. I was good. I was good at it. A lot of it was the comfort in a hose. Just like, you know how you get like a gun on a water hose? I used to work at a farm, and I was trained how to use a gun on a water hose really well. Like we used to have to milk wash the milking powder down every night. All the poop on the milking powder, we had to clean it all up with a hose. So my dad took one side, I took the other, and after a while I got pretty good. He taught me really well on how to move product with water. So basically, I think that stems a lot from it, just the comfort with a hose hanging off my hand, using like a water gun type deal. So that, and I've always been pretty like artistically and athletically inclined. So like things come to me easy. Once you show me something, I can basically mimic it. Yeah, it didn't take long. And then also mowing lawns. So when you mow a lawn, you want to get about half of that feather. I usually do about at least a quarter of the lawnmower overlapping the old, I used to, especially when the lawn is really big and thick, high grass. So it's kind of like those two things that I used to do my whole childhood. When I do the passes with the sprayer, I just mow the lawn. Basically, I'm just giving it about a half of a feather on what I've already sprayed and a half on what I haven't sprayed. Now it depends. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes the paint's a little liquidy and watery, and that's what I was worried about in here, because it had already been sprayed before. This place, three-quarters of it had finish paint on it. Granted, we had a lot of mud on there, and we sanded it, so we gave it some adhesion. So we took the lacquer off basically, but it was still had satin paint on it, like finish paint. So that's always a worry. Holidays can start there. So, but anyway, that's how. Yeah, I was just spraying a wall, spraying all this out. I had to prime it. I had to seal the drywall in. And it says what I do right on my description, guys. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate you watching. I do like talking to you, so if anybody can... Anthony, actually, I remember you very well. I've actually, Mr. Good Citizen, I do remember you. Alexis, I remember you as well. But Anthony, yeah, I've been spraying for 13 years. And it's kind of funny that the first time I ever sprayed was my first job by myself on my own name, But other than that, no, I'm sorry, no. I learned how to spray with Lance Booty. He showed me how to run a different type of airless gun. He had one. And we sprayed out a couple of barns down there on Jupiter Drive or whatever. But that was like the last job I did with him. And then the first job I ever did, my client bought me an airless sprayer. Because that was so cheap that even buying me the $600 airless sprayer was still saving him thousands to hiring someone like my old boss. I was like a quarter of the price. When you first start, I literally had nothing. Like I had to buy Werner platforms, I had to buy brushes, I had to buy everything. Caulking guns, you name it, roller sleeves, rollers, roller frames, anything, ladders, all of it I bought that first job with my first quarter of whatever I made that job. People don't realize that buying tools for a paint really doesn't cost much. It's literally about 20% of your first job takes care of most of what you need. Till you get into pump jacks and big ladders, and then you buy them as you need them. Each job you need one big thing, or if it's a big enough job, you can buy all of it at once and just get it out of the way. But a lot of times you can borrow big ladder till you have enough money to buy them. But yeah, starting up a paint company really is not. It's not a hit to the bank. So this stuff is already drying. I smell the ammonia has already left the room, which is good. We got that industrial fan blowing on that ceiling. Look how wet that ceiling is. That is so wet. I didn't realize how wet that was. But you can see I overlap. There's a good inch between my heavy spray. So I overlap pretty good. It just, for some reason, well, I know why, because that was one of the last things I did. So the moisture in here the moisture content in here was crazy, and I hadn't opened that door yet because I didn't want to get paint on the jamb and on the door. So that was the last thing I sprayed, which means it's just the wettest. And it hasn't had enough time to cure. Plus, the moisture content in here was just wild. But yeah. So tomorrow morning, I'll come in and spray again. I want to see that ceiling tack up at least to this. Tack up, dry up enough before I leave. I don't want to shut that door and stop the airflow, the water content from leaving this room. I just sprayed over 5 gallons of moisture in here. So if I were to just leave this place enclosed and encapsulated like this, all the moisture wouldn't have a place anywhere to go. It would get stuck in here. Some of it would get absorbed by the cement, but that's not even good. You don't want your cement wet. And it would end up just creating little droplets of water. So little droplets, especially on the flat horizontal surfaces, especially on this trim where this wood is, there'd be little tiny water droplets everywhere. Look, it's hard. No, that's not. Thank God. Yeah, so I opened the door just in time, really. And then you can see in here, this is starting to tack up pretty well, getting dry, which is good. And to be honest, once I spray this one more time, I think we'll be in good shape. Of course, you got your bare drywall, so there's going to be them little roughed up stuff that we're going to have to sand down, but that's a given with your first drywall. And then you got mud, which I coated this mud a little bit too much, but I knew it was pure thick mud, so it was going to soak the moisture up, and you can tell I gave it a little extra, but that's fine. It's not dripping. Oh, it actually is dripping a little bit, but remember, this is primer. So primer is sandable. I'm just going to take a little bit of that body down before it cures up. Just kind of brush that, feather that away. You don't want to go too crazy, but you don't want to leave a big drip there if possible. See that? That's something that got flung up from the airless sprayer. It was 2,600 PSI coming out of that gun, and it blew a piece of stone or something up. When I had to try to reset the electricity, I pulled this open, and a bunch of mud pulled off the wall. I was like, damn. But yeah, it's doing pretty good. I don't see many holidays. I should have been a little bit more careful right here. I knew I had overlapped a couple times on that corner, so I should have feathered here instead of all the way out. But it was only one holiday, and remember, it's first coat, so matter of fact, I'm going to put that right there. That's the wettest spot in the room other than this ceiling. But that fan will still reach up and grab that. I don't see it curing up, so I need to start seeing that tackiness there, and you can see it's still right wet. So I really gotta get this curing up before it starts to drip on me. Another thing I'm seeing is rust, which means that's water that's came through the other side, so I'll have to be careful with that as well. blow that fan directly up, straight up in the air. I need this ceiling to cure, and it's having a hard time curing at the moment. Oh, I'm starting to see a little bit. See how it's breaking through? Just a little bit, that's good, but we gotta see that really start to dry up. And then this is also showing me how heavy to go where to go heavy and where to go light next time around. So I'll know to be careful with doubling up this corner, and I'll know to be light on this ceiling. But we do have to give it one more coat. And tomorrow I can spray it down and then just open the doors. And this place will dry way quicker tomorrow. And hopefully I can figure out the electricity on this wall. I mean, 3 fans shouldn't pop that shouldn't be too much electricity for one wall. Alright, I'm starting to see it cure. That's where I had a lot of mud though. Over there is where there was barely no mud at all. And that's where the problem is. We really need this to cure up because it's starting to go to a holiday. So having this industrial fan blowing straight at it is the best thing I can do for it. Get it curing up quick. And that's also redirecting air this way and taking moisture off that ceiling. This drop right here stops a lot of that moisture from escaping. Hoping for this ceiling to cure up. See how wet it is? That's literally moisture reflection. We need that to cure up, like, quick. You can see where there was drywall, it's starting, mud. Wherever there was mud, it's doing its thing, but everywhere else, she's just holding firm. All the other walls are curing up good, which is good. Problem is I can't run any more fans because that whole wall is down. I plugged one in there, a small one, and I plugged a small one in here, and I went to plug a big one in the middle, and it just killed it. Maybe because I had this plugged in, but it's probably why. It was this, and this. I mean, I can understand with that, and those 2 fans, I guess that'd be too much. Yeah, that air is really moving out this door. And that's what we want. We want that fan to blow air out and new air to come in. We want it to circulate. If I leave right now and leave that door shut, that whole ceiling's gonna start to drip. Little water droplets will get stuck. You'll see little water droplets. Like if it were raining outside and it'd be on the bottom of the gutter, little water droplets. That's what would happen there. So I have to wait for that to cure up. And then we'll see how it's... We just gotta give it a few minutes. See how wet that is? It's like glass. I guess that should have been a little less, but you know, I did the same that I did everywhere else. And that corner was a little too thick as well. Yeah, that's tacked up well. I'm gonna move that fan to the ceiling again. Look, there's enough air movement from that fan to move that light, so that's good. We want it to pull the moisture off that ceiling. I wish I could get that fan going. I'd put a fan right here in the door. The back wall's tacking up a little bit. We need a ceiling to start to... I mean, look how wet that is. That is soaking wet. Everything else is dried up. I painted all of this in about half an hour. That ceiling is just being stubborn. You can see my passes were the same as that. You know, it's not like I put too much on, but that ceiling was already painted before. It was previously painted, and it's horizontal, and where this lip is coming down, it's stopping the moisture from being able to whip out. It's clogging it all up there. So we got these two fans blowing up, but I don't know why the properties in the paint just aren't binding. They're not doing their thing. I can't leave until that ceiling starts to cure. We need to see that glass start to dry out. We want it to look like that. At least to have drier patterns. But that has no patterns. It's just nothing but wet glass. So, I'll just have a cigarette. Give it a moment. You can see the reflection of the door. It's so wet. That's crazy. It's so wet, you can see the reflection of the door in that ceiling. That's not like from the camera. I can see it in front of me, like without the camera. We need that to dry up a little bit. That's a flat white paint. That should not be reflecting like that. But it's just so moist. It's having a hard time circulating out because of this big beam drops about 10 inches on that inside edge. So it's just getting stuck up there. I've got two fans blowing at it, so we'll see. Alright guys, as soon as this cures up, I'm going to pull out of here. Thanks for watching. I just can't shut this door for the night until that water gets out of here. Or it could be a catastrophe, and I do not want to sand that down for 2 hours tomorrow. So, we'll let it cure up. We'll let the air move on it. We'll let it tack up at least, and then I'll shut the door. We'll leave the fans running all night. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.